I'm Mike from St. Thomas Economic Development, here with another little update from St. Thomas Fire Department, Station Number 1. Okay, so this afternoon we're in front of Fire Station Number 1 here in St. Thomas, and I'm joined by Fire Chief Dave Gregory. Dave, how's it going?
Great. Thank you very much for coming here today.
Now, Dave, before you mention anything, yes, I am looking very fresh and rested, and it's because of the fallback of the clocks this weekend. And so I'm I'm remembering that as we change the clocks, there's something else that we want to remind people to do. What is that we want to remind them for?
So what we try to remind everybody to do this time of year, and then when we change the clocks on the other time, is check your smoke alarms. Check the batteries, change the batteries. Don't even check them, change the batteries. We're always emphasizing check your smoke alarms. It's such an easy thing to do. Have a little family plan to get the people out of the house if you have to. Have a meeting place. It's a good time for the family just to say, hey, we're changing the clocks. Why don't we just change the batteries? We don't have a problem changing our batteries and our remotes. And sometimes we forget about our smoke alarms. And the smoke alarms are our first detection to get out of the house. Early detection, especially with the newer build houses, what are built out of a lot easier to burn combustibles. We want people out of the house. Call 911. Most of the parts in the city, we're 6 to 8 minutes away. So early detection gets us there a lot quicker, and having working CO alarms especially and smoke alarms is our #1 priority.
Right on. That's an important reminder for people in St. Thomas and frankly anywhere to hear. That's what keeps us safe. Now, on the topic of fires and talking about the changes that we're expecting in St. Thomas in the near term with the electric vehicle battery plant coming, I'm curious if you can shed a little bit of light on what we can expect in terms of, this. We've sort of got a bit of controversy going on with EV car fires. Is this like a common occurrence, something we need to be worried about?
So no, we haven't had, and touch wood, we haven't had any EV car fires to speak of. The problem with EV car fires is in a lot of places, it's response times. So in the bigger municipalities where there is a lot more compared to the number of gas-powered vehicles we have in our city, the bigger cities, there's more vehicles, slower access and response times. We have such a great response times, and I mentioned this before, and we also have some things to mitigate EV car fires. We have purchased a large EV battery blanket. So this blanket encapsulates the car, stops it from free burning, and allows us to contact our towing company to get it out of the city and get it to a storage area. We also have some other ways. We have lots of foam, and we have some other tools that we purchased that will go under the car because all the batteries are stored in the bottom of the car. That's the part of the chassis. We have some stuff that will slide underneath and put some water on those cells that have been impinged.
That's very interesting. Well, it's comforting to know that it's not a common occurrence, something that happens, I think, less commonly than it does with internal combustion engines, and that our fire department is prepared in the event that there is such a fire that they can deal with it. Now, also talking about fires, I remember not that long ago seeing these big black plumes of smoke kind of coming from little ways behind City Hall. What was going on back there?
Yeah, you're right. There was lots of black smoke, and that was caused by the creosote that the railroad ties are soaked in. So what had happened, we had a large number of railroad ties catch fire. We had early notification. We got there, and it was such a large pile that we put lots of water on it, but it was one of those things that was deep burning, deep seated. So we had to tear them apart. So in the meantime, we called in extra off-duty firefighters, and they were there in quick time, and we started lobbing lots of foam on it. So the problem with the foam is it's very environmentally safe, but it's very expensive. So we went through a lot of foam, which was cost incurring to our residents in St. Thomas. But we had the city of St. Thomas backhoe on site. We pulled it apart. We used the foam to saturate the area and cause it to first of all, go out and make it easier for us to work with. But in saying that, we did some damage to some hose, and we did some damage to one of our fire apparatus, and one of the city board of works brand new backhoe. We ruined the tire on that too. But and since then, CNN's been really good with working with us. So they've cleaned up that area, and they're going to continue to monitor those areas and make sure that they don't get a stockpile of them, which saves us a lot of time that we're fighting a fire like that, and the manpower, and we have to make sure that we keep enough people, manpower on site to maintain fire protection for the residents of the city of St. Thomas.
Fantastic. Well, Dave, listen, thanks for making the time to talk today. It's always encouraging every time I meet with fine folks at the St. Thomas Fire Department.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Stay tuned for more little updates coming soon.